I'm going to start by saying that Red Bull are guilty of inciting racial hatred, and I'm going to show you exactly how. I look at the BBC Sport website frequently, and today this is an article that they have reported and draw the parallels. So as we scroll down the page, we come across this article here. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Nice's Atal sentence for inciting religious hatred. So let's have a look at the details of this case. So, Yusuf Atal, Nice's Algeria defender, given 8-month suspended sentence for inciting religious hatred. It goes on to describe that he's been given an 8-month suspended sentence by a French court for inciting religious hatred in a social media post about the conflict in Israel and Gaza. The Nice Criminal Court ruled that Atal must also pay €45,000 fine for posting an anti-Semitic video on his Instagram account. Now, I've got to say, I do not know the details of what that video was. I don't know its nature. The video has now been deleted, so I cannot go into that. What we all must acknowledge is that what is going on in Israel is that Israeli forces are murdering Palestinian people. That statement is not anti-Semitic. That statement is not against Jewish people. It does not discriminate about a person's religious choice. The religion is Judaism. I've stated that it is Israeli forces, a nation's forces, which are murdering a nation of people. They are murdering Palestinian people. And the world is standing by and doing nothing, and actually presenting to justify it by suggesting that Israel is justified in its actions due to the attacks that it suffered at the hands of Hamas. So them attacks justify Israeli forces going to kill Palestinian people. That has been put forward in media, which is truly disgusting. Not going to get into that any further, and I do not know the content of what this man posted on his social media. Consider this. What is the reach of this man's social media? How many followers does this man have on social media? I would suggest it is not a global audience of in excess of 108 million people. He's a relative nobody when it comes to being a global sports star. His audience is likely to be extremely small. So the impact of what he would post is minimal by comparison to that of a global sports broadcast, a global sports brand. So you can read the details of that. What are Red Bull guilty of? At Silverstone 2021, what did we hear? We heard the vilification of Sir Lewis Hamilton. We heard the Red Bull team broadcast to the world that Lewis Hamilton was in the wrong for what he did, with the suggestion that Lewis Hamilton knowingly would have inflicted damage on Max Verstappen. We had the notion that is presented by the Red Bull fans, the Red Bull army, the Orange army, claiming that Hamilton nearly killed Verstappen at Silverstone in 2021. We had Jonathan Wheatley, his broadcasted message saying, "Everybody knows you don't put a wheel up the inside at Cops," or was that Horner? Either way, you had Horner on the radio able to spit his hatred on the platform of Sky Sports to a global audience, able to spit that hatred, to convince people and vilify Sir Lewis Hamilton. Now, who is Sir Lewis Hamilton? The only black competitor in the sport of Formula One. We know that racist attitudes exist within society. The moment you start vilifying somebody who is a person that has differences, then those differences are often picked up on and used as a version and form of abuse. That is a known thing. It is a known thing. Horner, Wheatley, and those at Redbull intentionally vilified Sir Lewis Hamilton. They incited hatred. They incited their crazies, their following, the vulnerable minds of the strap-on fanboy to jump up and say, yes, Hamilton is a hate figure. He nearly killed our favourite driver. It's not the truth. It is not the truth. They incited that. Their comments, broadcast, allowed to be broadcast from the platform of a global broadcaster, convinced and incited millions of people with false beliefs, knowingly done so with known attitudes of those people. That constitutes inciting racial hatred and is truly disgusting. These are the sorts of penalties that get imposed upon people that are guilty of inciting hatred. Anti-Semitic hatred is no different to racial hatred. It is disgusting. Let us be clear. Let us be clear. It is disgusting. Horner and Wheatley and Redbull are guilty of that. They did it at Silverstone 2021, and there needs to be consequences for that. Watch the video that is linked at the end of this one. Click the thumbnail, which will show you exactly what took place at Silverstone 2021 and exactly who was to blame. And they blamed the wrong guy.